Good morning. This is Pastor Doug. Last Sunday we looked at Psalm 145, a psalm that celebrates God's greatness and God's goodness and calls on the people of God to proclaim those attributes of Him, His mighty works, His glorious things, the great things He's done, the goodness of God, and to proclaim it from generation to generation, and so that all peoples throughout the earth would know Him as the Lord. The Lord is gracious and compassionate, slow to anger, and abounding in love. One of our challenges is, well, how do we do that? We can sing hymns in church. Well, that's one way. We can lift our hands in praise songs. We can shout out attributes and characteristics of God. We can give testimonies. Well, those are things we can do, let's say, in a worship service, and those are good and those are encouraging. But how do we do that just even in our day-to-day life? Building that discipline in our lives of praying that back to God, thanking God for His greatness, focusing on His attributes, His faithfulness, His sovereignty, His great love. Thinking of those things even this week that you've sensed, God is so good. And He's not just good in general, He's good to me. And these are the specific ways that I've seen that. Try working that into both just your own conversation with God, but also with those that you know well. Maybe those are people in your own family, around the dinner table. Just say, this was something I really appreciated about God's goodness today, or I was struck by this characteristic of God, and wow, isn't it good that God is trustworthy and reliable? He's a rock in very uncertain times, that He is someone who is stable, and I can always trust in Him. The more you do it with those that you're comfortable with, the easier it is to begin doing it with those that maybe they don't even know God yet. But the way that they'll get to know Him is by you talking about Him. It's like if you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend and you want other people to know about them, well, you tell them about them. And in the same way, we tell people about God, who is the one that we love. It's not just a transaction that I do these things and then God does these things for me, and God does these things for me and then I do these things back and forth to Him. That's transactional. It's a loving relationship that we have with God. And that leads us into this week, and really for the next 3 weeks, we're going to look at our mission. What is our mission as a church? And we've put it in terms of love God, serve others, share the good news of lives transformed by Jesus Christ. And this week we're going to talk about love God. What does it really mean to love God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength? That's a daunting challenge. How can we have that kind of focus and love devoted towards God? Well, that's what we're going to talk about this Sunday. Look forward to seeing you there. Bye-bye, and have a great week.